Today on Another World.
You know, I told you about Las Vegas, but I didn't tell you the whole story. See, when I left, I took a little piece of Vegas with me.
So, Jordan and his company must have one of these books too, right?
I would imagine something similar, yeah.
How are you?
Doing all right. I've been doing a lot of thinking about the future and families. By that I mean my son and me. Well, I know that I love Matthew. And I think I might be in love with Rachel.
But since I know that you're not going to take that advice, I'm going to prescribe some tranquilizers for you. Mild ones and only 20 tablets, non-refillable. Now, you take one of these an hour before you go to bed.
Well, as I said, I was just curious, but I heard that there's a plainclothesman stationed outside of Jerry's door.
In the hospital?
Yeah, at the hospital. I wondered whether you knew what that was all about.
No idea.
Suppose you find out.
And now, the continuing story of Another World.
Up.
Did you hear something?
Yes, you've been tossing and turning all night.
I guess I must have been having a nightmare.
No, it must have been a real thriller.
Must have been. I can't remember. Oh. What time is it?
No, it's early in the morning. Jamie, it's only been a couple hours since you've even been home.
Yeah, well, I thought that you were asleep when I came in.
Yeah, I was.
Sorry.
Why were you out so late last night?
I told you. I was working at the complex.
I was beginning to get worried about you.
You should have called.
Well, I don't want to be a nag. Not in our first month of marriage.
Oh. You're saying the trouble starts in the second month? It's time to get up.
Yeah, just about. Jamie, listen. What are you doing at the complex so late every night? What were you doing last night?
I told you, I was tangling with that Bravo budget, trying to rework it. See all the bruises?
Well, I don't think it's fair. I don't think it's fair at all, you having to cover for Pat like this.
I would hardly call the word cover accurate. In fact, I'm sure Pat would feel much better off if I had just left that dumb budget alone.
Yeah, I bet she would.
Maybe she's right. Anyway, she came and offered to help.
She what?
Yeah. I told her to go home, that I had made the original mistakes, so I should make them work.
You know, she really is something.
Honey, she was trying to help.
Oh, I bet she was. Help herself into what?
Anyway, I finished. And when I came home, you were asleep, and I couldn't sleep. So I went out in the living room, and I read. I tried to unwind. I didn't want to wake you.
But why can't you sleep, Jamie? You're not sick, are you?
No. Honey, I'm just too keyed up. I mean, sometimes I feel like a watch spring. I get wound up and wound up. And just when I think I'm going to be relaxed, I can't. You know? I don't know, and then I have to just start the old ticker all over again. Is there any coffee?
I'll make you some, okay?
Well, honey, if there's any left from last night, I'll just reheat it. Don't go.
No, you're not. It's like putting battery acid in your stomach.
Oh, that's terrific. I'll take a whole pint. Okay? In bed?
No. Up. Come on. I hate being late. It just sets me off for the whole morning.
Okay. Okay.
Jamie, you know, this isn't the first night that you've had trouble sleeping lately.
So tell me something new.
Well, you're not going to be much good at work if you, don't get the proper amount of sleep.
That's new?
It's true.
Look, I know I'm under a lot of pressure lately. I'm tense, I'm irritable, I can't seem to get my work done, but listen, it's not the end of the world, and it's gonna stop. I promise you, it'll ease up.
Yeah, well, of course it will. But until then, you're still not going to get enough sleep, which is what you need.
Okay.
I'm only trying to help.
I know. But really, there's nothing that you can do.
You know, I think there's something that you can do. Why don't you go see Dr. Matthews today?
For?
Just to get a little something.
What do you mean, a little something?
You know, to help you sleep.
Oh. I don't know.
Please?
Yeah. Maybe that's what I'll do.
I'll get you some coffee, all right?
Yeah.
Are you still on duty?
Well, not exactly, no.
Then what are you doing here?
I'm just,
Just what?
I'm just finishing up.
Rick, what are you trying to feed me? I know you went off duty an hour ago.
Yeah. Well, why'd you ask?
Because I want to know what you're doing here, and I expect a straight answer.
Hey, it's no big deal. I'm just sticking around for a while.
For what?
To see if there's any late word on Jerry. And I've got...
And nothing. The doctors who work around the clock are tired and inefficient and of absolutely no use to me.
Are you telling me that
I'm saying that I don't want to discuss this here. Now, you be in my office in 15 minutes.
But, Russ, I was
But
only...
nothing. 15 minutes. Now, you be there.
Oh, hi.
How you doing?
Well, where's your little black cloud? Nice spring day, everybody else is smiling.
I guess.
You look like you could use a friend.
Not sure that it's a friend that I need.
Everybody needs a friend once in a while.
Maybe. But I think I can use more than that.
How about some coffee? I just made some fresh.
I don't think so.
Well, our families are important, too. Of course, we're all family, one way or another.
One or another, that's it.
That's what? It's Matthew, isn't it?
Yeah, it's Matthew.
Have you been to see him?
Not recently.
Well, why not? I know that you have a standing invitation to see your son whenever you want to.
It's just difficult.
Why?
Well, it's not easy going in and out of Mac and Rachel's life like that. I mean, I don't fit there. I don't belong there. And then to arranged to see my son.
Well, a lot of divorced couples work this thing out. I mean, I don't see why you and Rachel can't. Anyway, I know Rachel doesn't think of you as an intruder.
No, she doesn't. I mean, Rachel doesn't. I know that.
Then it must be Mac.
Well, let's just say Mac and I don't see eye to eye exactly how it is what my role is with Matthew. I mean, there is a tension there that's going to be there. And then, I mean, the last thing I want for Matthew, or anybody, are a lot of bad feelings.
Now, why don't you go to Mac and Rachel and tell them how you feel? Try to make them see that they can't let you go on feeling like an intruder.
I know I should.
You have to decide how you feel about Matthew. Do you want him to know that you're his father or not? I mean, you have to stop acting like this is somebody else's decision. It is not. It's yours. It's your life. It's your son. It's your decision.
I know that, Ada. I know. I'm going to do something about it. I'm going to do it at my own pace. I just don't want this thing to erupt.
Well, I'd like a decision to be made, too. I'm worried about Matthew.
Where there's going to be, I guarantee you that.
There has to be. For all of you. And soon.
Well, then I've got a lot to do, and I better get on with doing it.
Joey, I've got this problem. I don't know quite how to deal with it. I had this talk with Jamie Frame yesterday.
Yeah?
Yeah, we talked about the accident at the dock site.
What about it?
Well, Jamie's got this idea that it wasn't an accident, that someone was trying to get him before I interrupted. And for some weird reason, I think I go along with him.
Why, do you have any clues?
Look, this doesn't go out of this room, all right?
Yeah.
I'm serious, Joey.
What'd I just say?
Okay. All right, now look. You remember what I told you about Vegas and my employment there? I also told you about Ilsa Fredericks, my boss. Well, nobody ever crosses old Ilsa. See, she's a very tough lady who's very deeply involved with organized crime and has been for some time, probably since before we were born.
Yeah, so what does this gangster lady have to do with us innocents?
Speak for yourself, my friend. Not everybody in Bay City can be described as an innocent, if you know what I mean.
There's always Jordan Scott.
Yeah, exactly. Anyway, when Jamie and I were talking, he told me that there's another company operating a project down at the docks. So I started thinking to myself, well, they're the ones who are bound to profit if there's a quarry shutdown, right?
Yeah, that seems logical.
Okay. Well, that company is owned by Jess Cooper, who's Jordan Scott's boss. And Ilsa Fredericks' boss.
All right. I seem to follow your connection now. Tell me again how you think that this all fits in with Jamie's accident.
Well, no, it's not just Jamie's accident. See, it's the fire and all the other minor problems that have caused all the holdups at the quarry project recently. See, what I'm trying to tell you is that the company that would profit enormously from a quarry shutdown is owned and operated by the company, as they like to call themselves. It all sounds very businesslike, doesn't it? One thing I know is that when these people want something, they don't stop at asking for it.
Minutes on the nose.
Well, I'm glad you could make it.
I didn't think I had a choice.
You didn't. Sit down.
Look, Russ, I didn't
Just
mean...
sit down.
Sir.
Have you had a chance to eat anything digestible yet this morning?
Not yet, but I'm not really hungry at this point.
Yes, Joyce, it's Dr. Matthews. Look, will you send somebody up to my office with A couple of large glasses of orange juice, 2 milks, and a couple of waters of something hot. Huh? A lot of protein. Yeah, thanks very much. I appreciate it. How is your memory?
Sir?
Not affected by mineral deficiency or lack of sleep?
Not yet, no.
Good. Then you will probably recall a conversation we had not long ago when I first offered you the internship in this unit.
How could I forget?
What did we talk about?
The true confessions of Rick Holloway, a boy drug abuser.
Now, that's just a bit melodramatic, isn't it?
All right. My inability to handle pressure in the past and my reliance on prescription drugs to cope.
What we were talking about was not a drug problem.
Come on, Russ.
No,
just
the chemicals that you put into your body were merely a symptom.
some symptom.
Well, the real problem, Rick, was trying to cope with more than you could possibly handle, trying to do more than ever was expected, trying to be more than you or anyone else could be. That's what the real problem was, setting too high a level of expectancy. And it still is.
Too high a level, huh? It seems to me that I have been setting pretty low levels around here lately. 2 days ago, I almost killed someone, a friend of mine.
You stop over-dramatizing. Now, you didn't almost kill anyone. You didn't do anything.
Exactly. It was a high-level act of omission.
We have talked about this, Rick. We've talked about it more than once. Now, in no way are you to blame, directly or indirectly, and that incident is over. It's done with.
No offense. It may be over for you, but until Jerry is off the critical list, it is not over for me. I am not off the hook.
All right, let me tell you something. You are not God. You cannot go around this hospital taking personal responsibility for the miracle cure of every patient you lay your hands on. Now, we handle emergencies down here, right? Emergency care unit, right?
I know that.
All right. Now, when then we send the patients on to a specialist or home to recuperate or whatever their condition demands. But once that emergency care is over with, we go on to the next patient and the next and the next, and that is what this job is all about. Come in. Oh, yes. Thanks very much. And would you just put it on the desk there, please?
All right.
And tell Joyce many thanks. Sit down. Dig in. I told you a long time ago, some weeks ago anyway, when you first came on staff here, that I was going to be watching you. Well, I have. More closely, perhaps, than is usual.
To what do I owe that honor?
What you told me about yourself.
Yes, and that turned out to be a great idea, didn't it?
You listen to me. And you listen very carefully. I want you to go home from here, and you get some sleep. And you come back on duty for your shift, rested and alert and ready to be the best darned intern on my staff. Because that's exactly what you have the makings of. Now, do you think you can handle that?
All right, if what you're saying is true, that means Jamie's going to be in trouble, in danger, Mac might be in danger, and they don't have the advantage of knowing what you know.
You know, it all comes back to you, doesn't it? I mean, you just can't get away from your past. There's always a price.
Well, there's no such thing as a free ride, that's for sure, especially if you ever had anything to do with Jordan Scott. There's no way of getting away from that guy. And we both know what he's capable of. We both know what he did to Jerry Grove.
You're pretty sure Scott's behind the Grove hit, aren't you?
Oh, without a doubt. It's as if he put a signature on it. You know, the guy is everywhere. He's got everybody cornered. He's got Blaine cornered. He's got her brother cornered. There's no way of getting at the guy.
Oh, my friend, there's always a way.
Yeah, well, we can always drop a bomb on him.
Well, maybe not drop a bomb. But
What are you doing?
it might be kind of interesting if we, drop this on him instead.
What is this?
The pen is mightier than the sword. Every business has to have records. You know, I told you about Las Vegas, but I didn't tell you the whole story. See, when I left, I took a little piece of Vegas with me as insurance.
Records?
Yeah, but it's more than that. See, this is a client book and a request book. Everything that everyone ever asked for and got is right there.
In black and white.
Well, not quite. It's in code. But anybody who knows what this is knows how valuable it is. I mean, this would be quite a hit on the bestseller list.
So, Jordan and his company must have one of these books too, right?
I would imagine something similar, yeah.
Oh, well, that's a good way to get at Jordan, but what about the immediate thing? What are we going to do with Jamie? We're going to tell him? What's going to...
No, listen, I'll tell you what, I'll take care of that, okay?
Yeah?
What really worries me is that somewhere, probably in a book a lot like this, may be a request to deal with Mac Corey. And Joey, after all he's done for me, I just can't let that happen.
Guess it's too late to ask if I'm interrupting.
You can find me anywhere. Yeah, no, come on in. I've been in here all morning. I haven't had anyone to talk to, so I'd love you to come in. How are you?
Doing all right. I've been doing a lot of thinking about the future and families. By that I mean my son and me.
I think that's a very natural reaction, since he is your son.
Well, I've come to realize how important he has been to me, helping me through with a lot of things I've gone through, and naturally, I'd like to spend as much time as possible with him.
But you realize that would mean you'd also be spending a lot of time with Rachel.
Is it that obvious? No. Well, I know that I love Matthew. And I think I might be in love with Rachel. And to be honest, I don't know whether it's my son or whether it's Rachel I want to be spending time with.
But Mitch, it doesn't have to be a black or white situation. I mean, it doesn't have to be either one or the other. You can't compartmentalize your feelings like that. Maybe the truth is you want to spend your time with both Rachel and Matthew.
Well, that's exactly what I'm afraid of.
So, what's ailing you, Jamie?
Well, I've been really tired lately, mainly because I haven't been able to sleep properly, I guess.
Well, most people do get tired when they don't sleep. Is it because of overwork, or do you get to bed in time and you just can't doze off?
Well, I've been working a lot lately. And it seems that by the time I get home, I'm just too wound up to sleep, you know. And I get into bed, and then I'm just tossing and turning all the time. And then when I finally do get to sleep, I have to get up. And, well, I've gotten into this cycle, and I can't seem to break it, you know.
You drink a lot of coffee?
Well, sure, you know, when I work late, yeah.
And why are you working late?
Well, come on, I have a lot to do at the complex down at the docks. I have a lot going on.
Yeah, well, Jamie, as far as I know, there always has been a lot going on, always will be.
Yeah, well, that's true, but normally, you know, things are spaced a little bit so I can deal with each problem separately. But, well, this is just one of those months when everything is coming down on me at once, so to speak.
Seems like every way I turn, I'm having this same conversation. Different face, but the same conversation.
What?
Never mind. You just try to calm down. I feel like I'm the head of interrogation. You really are on edge, aren't you?
Russ, I just need to be able to get through this time.
Jamie, how long is this time?
Really, a couple of weeks, that's all, I promise.
That had better be all. I don't see that you need to be strung out any more than you already are. A couple of good meals and some rigorous exercise would do just as much for you as a few pills. But since I know that you're not going to take that advice, I'm going to prescribe some tranquilizers for you. Mild ones and only 20 tablets, non-refillable. Now, you take one of these an hour before you go to bed.
Okay.
And only on those nights when you're sure that you're not going to be able to sleep, huh? And absolutely no alcohol.
Those are sedatives, right?
Only one a night. You got that? Yes, these are sedatives, mild ones. And remember, one a night. I mean that.
Okay.
And if you run out of these and you feel like you need more, well, you come back and see me.
Wait a minute. Did you just tell me they were non-refillable?
Yes, they are. But if your problem continues, no amount of drugs is going to cure you of it. You come back. We'll sit down. We'll talk about alternatives. Healthy alternatives.
Okay. Thank you, Russ.
Oh, sorry to creep up on you like that. I can come back later.
No problems. Come on.
Gather you wanted to see me.
Yeah, please. Larry, have a seat. Something's come up, and I wonder if you could help me out. There's a little favor I wonder I could call on you to do for me.
Oh, sure, Jordan. What little favor can I do for you?
You could ease my mind.
Is something bothering you?
I'm just a bit curious.
Well, you know what they say about curiosity.
Now, I always thought it was a pretty dumb cat, you know, that saying. Now, this is just something I was curious about. I wonder if you could help me out with.
Sure, shoot.
It's about Jerry Grove's tragic accident.
Yeah. A lot of careless driving nowadays. You got to be a defensive pedestrian.
Doesn't seem to break you up.
Well, these things happen. I don't see what it's got to do with me.
Oh. Then I take it you two didn't kiss and make up.
No, we didn't.
I'm surprised.
Really? The way I figure it, when a friend betrays you, it's all over. You can't trust him anymore. You know what I mean?
Yes. Yes, I certainly do. Now, I believe when someone betrays your trust, it's hard, it's practically impossible to resume the relationship you once had.
Is this what you called me in here for, to talk about Jerry Grove?
Only indirectly.
Which means what?
Well, as I said, I was just curious, but I heard that there's a plainclothesman stationed outside of Jerry's door.
In the hospital?
Yeah, at the hospital. I wondered whether you knew what that was all about.
No idea.
Huh. It's not standard departmental procedure, then.
Well, who knows what's standard with those clowns?
You. You were once one of those clowns.
Look, I don't know what this is about.
Suppose you find out.
Now, how am I supposed to do that?
That shouldn't be tough. I mean, you must have some contacts left down at the department.
No way. You know, they don't put out the welcome mat for me at the old precinct anymore.
Well, that's your problem, Ewing. I need that information.
Look, and I told you I can't get it. I'm not a magician.
Well, hadn't you better learn some new tricks? Now, I don't care how you do it. Just do it. I want that information. I believe our discussion is finished. Hadn't you better begin?
So, Mr. Scott, the honeymoon's finally over. I wonder what's next.
Say, was that Jamie I saw coming out of your office a few minutes ago?
Oh, you're as observant as ever.
Listen, he's not sick or anything, is he?
No, not really. He's just a little strung out.
Oh, so soon?
So soon what?
Well, he only just got married. Didn't think life with Cecile would disagree with him quite so quickly.
Oh, I think I would diagnose the problem as more work-related than marital.
I see. I believe I see Rachel's fine hand in all this.
Alice, what are you getting at?
Nothing really.
Good.
It's just that Rachel always did push Jamie. Maybe it's all starting to catch up with him.
What are you doing here?
Oh, I'm here just out of curiosity.
Out of curiosity? All these places are the same. Why here?
Well, to be perfectly honest, I've had this vague notion of investing in this place.
You want to invest here?
Yeah. Why the astonishment?
No, I just see you in clubs in Las Vegas and Los Angeles.
I have to admit that the idea of my investing in a health club is slightly incongruous with my lifestyle. But I like it for that reason, Mitch. I put a bit of cash aside, and I think it's a good time for me to expand a bit. So, I'd like to get out of the restaurant business for a while, find something new. And this place, it's very impressive.
I mean, I haven't had that much to do with it. I've got some ideas for the future.
Yeah, I'm sure you have. This place is going to turn into a gold mine. And I would like to get in on it on the ground floor. I'd like to start in the early stages. What do you think, Melissa?
Yeah, well, seems perfectly logical to me. I mean, people are much more health conscious now than they used to be, and I don't think that's a trend that's going to fade.
That's right. And this place has remarkable potential.
For what?
Expansion. It would make a practical investment, wouldn't you agree?
Obviously, I've already made a commitment to it.
Would you excuse me for just a moment? This can't be possible.
What's going on with you?
I don't know. I mean, it's just being Jason.
No, there's more to it than that. I think my ex-partner's holding something back on me. You wouldn't know what it is, would you?
Yep. I only know what he's told you.
I wonder.
Well, well, I was beginning to think you'd vanished into thin air.
Why? Is this a problem?
No, I just haven't seen much of you recently.
I was just taking a nap in one of the empty rooms.
Well, you should have told me sooner. I might have joined you.
That's too small. Listen, is there any word on Jerry?
No, not the last I heard. Kit's with him right now.
Listen, I gotta get going.
Don't let me stop you.
I'll talk to you later, okay?
Sure. Here are the files. Mrs. Harris's is just being updated.
Well, thank you, Marianne. Let me know as soon as it's finished, will you, please? Nurse Randolph, are you there?
I'm sorry. I was just thinking about something.
Yeah, well, I gathered that. Anything in particular?
Rick, I just ran into him out in the hall. He seemed down. It's not like him not to want to have a conversation, even if it is just a few words of greeting.
Well, don't blame yourself. I think probably I'm at the bottom of it.
Well, how's that?
Well, I've been at him this morning to get some rest and relax.
Well, he just said he'd had a nap in one of the spare rooms.
Mm-hmm. Good. At least if he won't go home, at least he's getting some sleep.
What is it you're not saying?
Well, I let him have it this morning. I've been watching him grow more and more concerned over Jerry's condition, and I thought it was finally time to have it out with him.
His personal involvement in the case.
Yes, it's no help when the doctor is wound up tight. It's a bad habit for any doctor to get into.
You know he feels responsible for Jerry's condition, don't you?
Yes, I know. He told me that. See, every doctor has to go through that at one time or another. Rick just shouldn't feel that way.
Well, I'm sure he knows that, intellectually, but sometimes intellect can't rule over a gut reaction like guilt.
And just who told you that you could be so wise? Huh? Excuse me. Yes, Dr. Matthews. Oh, yes. Yeah, thank you very much for calling. It's Jerry Grove.
Well, is it good news, or?
He's just been taken off the critical list.
Well, if you'll excuse me, Doctor, there's a certain young intern I know who's going to be very pleased to hear this information.
Yeah.
Come in.
Hey, Jamie, you got a minute?
Yeah, well, 1 minute more or less isn't going to make any difference. Come on in.
Yeah. Listen, you remember the other day when we were talking about the accident at the dock site?
The other day?
Yeah.
I don't know, the days seem to merge, but... Yeah, I remember.
Well, listen, man, I've been giving a lot of thought, and it just doesn't add up.
What?
To being an accident. I mean, I don't know. I just can't buy that anymore.
What? Wait. Is that a guess or what?
No. I've been thinking about what I saw and, well, that and some other things, you know.
What things?
Well, it's something you said. You know, you said something about West End Development Project.
Yeah, right.
And you said that it was owned by a guy named Jess Cooper, right?
Yeah, right.
Well, if it's the same Jess Cooper that I know, and I'm willing to bet that it is. I mean, this guy is a pretty heavy dude. See, he's like, he's influential. He's very powerful in the underworld. Jamie.
What? Yeah, I'm listening.
This guy is very powerful in the underworld.
Wait a minute. Wait. What are you talking about?
I'm telling you that he's got his finger in a lot of pies all over the country. You name it. If it's illegal, this guy's into it, okay? And when you start looking at things that way, all this starts to make a lot more sense, see? He's Jordan Scott's boss. And that place, what is it? The Arena, right? Well, man, that thing is just this side of the law. Maybe not even that. And when you start reflecting on
Wait,
all
just
these
hold on. Slow down here. Now, where did you get all this information?
I can't tell you that.
What do you mean you can't tell me? You've just suggested that the Dock Project is headed by some kind of godfather, and now you're not telling me where you heard it from?
That's right. I'm sorry.
Well, that's not good enough.
Look.
You've got to tell me.
Jamie, I'm telling you the truth, okay? And I'm taking a big chance just telling you this. I can't. No, man, I won't tell you how I know. You're just going to have to accept it at face value. And if I were you, I'd do something about it, like go to the police, for example.
You're serious?
Yeah, man, I'm dead serious. Look, one more thing. Jess Cooper doesn't do his dirty work himself, man. No way. I mean, he's going to have somebody on the inside at the docks with the Corey Project. Somebody who can do the damage for him without getting too close. See?
All right, any candidates?
Well, you know, my construction career was kind of short-lived, but if I was going to take a stab at it, I'd say it was that guy, Ken Steele.
Ken Steele.
Yeah.
Well, I wouldn't put it past him. Listen, what are your reasons? I mean, why him?
Well, man, it's nothing specific. You know, it's just kind of the way the guy acted. I know that's not really much to go on, but he did things like when he hired me, for example. He went out of his way to tell me not to make any hassles.
No hassles, huh?
Right.
Well, I think Mr. Steele is about to buy himself one big hassle, Sandy.
You going someplace, Jay?
Yep, I'm going somewhere. And thank you, Sandy. I really mean it.
Yeah, sure.
I've been looking all over for you.
Well, here I am. Maybe where I should be.
Rick, stop that.
What? Charting the course of internal organs?
Doing this to yourself. And don't say what. You know what. Blaming yourself for Jerry.
I guess I'm not. At least not anymore. I'm just concerned about Kit and Jerry and...
Well, you can let go of that, too. Russ just got a phone call. Jerry's been taken off the critical list.
Really?
Really? I mean, he's not jumping up and down or anything. He's still listed as serious, but he's stable. He's going to be all right. Kit's with him now.
Thank you.
I didn't do it.
Well, you took the time to come and tell me.
Time well spent. You okay?
I think I am now.
You want to prove it?
Yeah, I think so.
This is not the most romantic place in the world.
I don't know. It sort of depends on who's with you. But if it bothers you...
It does.
And if you're off duty...
I am.
I just happen to know a lovely little spot. It's quite near here. Just over on Kenmore Street, in fact.
Oh, yeah?
Private bedroom.
Well, I think that is just what the doctor ordered.
You again? Couldn't you make an appointment occasionally? Or did Daddy send you down here on some urgent mission, perhaps a little more spying on old Ken?
I hate to interrupt.
No problem. After all, you're footing the bill.
That's right, I'm footing the bill. Which is why I'm making my complaints to the manager. Oh, Ken, I don't know if you remember what I told you not long ago about your getting the job done on time.
Yeah?
And if you couldn't, we'd have to find someone else who could.
What are you saying?
You're not getting the job done on time. Oh, come on, Ken, don't be so slow. You're fired. I want you out of this office by the end of the day.
Hey, you can't do that. I got a right to 2 weeks' pay.
Oh, 2 weeks' pay. Okay, well, I'll see to it that you get 2 weeks' pay. But after today, I don't want to see your face anywhere near this office. Understood?
Loud and clear. Now, let me tell you one thing, kid. You may be enjoying your power, but you're making one big mistake.
Really? Well, that all depends on how you look at it. I'll be back at 5 to collect the keys. Okay?
Join us each weekday at this time for the continuing story of Another World.